just to tap in a little bit to, Julia Cameron's The Artist Way, which I really believe in. One of the things she talks about is these artist dates, and how as creatives, we want to be able to fill our tanks with images and experiences and ideas that are outside of the actual task of what you're creating. And so you want to step away from the task and the goal and have an adventure, right? Basically is what she's saying. And so artist dates can be little solo things you take, and this is what I have my clients do that I work with, that are my creative arts therapy clients. But, travel is like a big artist date. You just go somewhere if you're solo traveling, and it's so good for the creative spirit. And I know a lot of times we can't travel as much as we, want now, but you can get it from taking a day trip. I mean, just kind of coming out of that normal space and filling our creative tanks, by being able to have some kind of, even if it's a micro adventure, what it does is it pulls us out of the mind and it brings us into being very present with what we're experiencing for the first time.
Yeah.
And it's just a wonderful thing to do for yourself, right. For your creativity, I think.
Yeah. I know for sure, you're the first person to articulate the artist way in a way that now makes me say, okay, I'm interested in that. I've heard it for many, many years. And I think when I typically hear it, it's almost like it sounds like homework and so I don't want to hear about homework.
Understandably so.
But the way you just presented that, and you talk about that all the time. I have my artist date scheduled and things like that. I didn't recognize that the trips also were part of that, but of course that makes sense. And there was one, I'm from New York, but there was one time that I went home, I think it was 2 years ago, and I made that my artist trip. And I was like, this is not about me visiting my family, my friends, or whatever. This is going to be straight an artist trip. And the experience was completely different. Mm-hmm. And every other day I had something scheduled, whether it was a Broadway show or some film. I went for Tribeca Film Festival and I immersed myself by working the festival, but just for a couple of days so that I can also participate in it. But that was the first time I experienced New York in a completely different way. All the years of living there, all the years going back and forth. So I think I'm going to maybe visit that artist way now.
Oh yeah, that sounds great. And I'm so glad you brought it up in terms of being somewhere that because it doesn't have to be somewhere you don't. It can be your hometown. I'm so glad you said that. But you shifted your perspective and your intention and created a new experience in a place you've been that you grew up in.
Right.
So that says it right there. Yeah, it's amazing.